Warriors, not like it was that long ago, was how good they were with the ball movement and leading the league in assists. 31 assists again tonight for Golden State as they win their fourth straight game. Steph and Draymond didn't have to play a second each in the fourth quarter. All right, so we're walking back in here to Studio B. It's Game Time presented by Kia. That's Candace Parker, Steve Smith. I'm Jared Greenberg. Appreciate you spending your Sunday night with us. What else would you rather be doing than hanging out with this trio?
Having a good time. We had a good night.
Having a real good time. One more game still to finish up, and it's coming right down to the wire. We'll check in again on the Clippers and Hornets here in a couple of moments. But let's talk about the Warriors, who we're about a month into the season now, and it is the Golden State Warriors with the best record in basketball. It's hard not to read into that and think that there are good things to come for a team that is still missing key parts.
Well, a team that has set the bar at the way basketball is played now. If you think about their championship run, you think about Steph Curry, people weren't taking those shots before Steph Curry made it possible to win games and take those type of shots. And now you just have the Stephettes coming in and knowing the offense. Obviously, Jordan Poole knew what he was capable of, but to see his growth and to see him get in the gym and to have one of the best shooters in the history of the game be your mentor, your vet. I mean, really, it's just about putting in the work. It seems like every person that Steph handshakes and high fives is now coming down and knocking down threes.
What's scary for me is just I'm looking at what they're missing. Andre Iguodala, Klay Thompson, and Wiseman. That is three guys, veteran, and then two veterans guys can shoot it, also play D, and then some size with James Wiseman to go along with the way they're playing right now. It is scary because defensively they even get better with those three guys and offensively.
Just a note on Iguodala, sore hip. Remember, he fell on it last week, and the Warriors play a back-to-back. So, again, we're not sure yet if the Warriors are just being ultra cautious, and he could be available tomorrow night against the Hawks. But again, you think about those dominant years the Warriors run. How many times did Steph put up 20, 25, 30, 35 points in 3 quarters of play, which kept him fresh for the next game? Warriors play a back-to-back against the Hawks team who are going to come in hungry, and Steph and Draymond are going to be fresh.
And that's the thing. Steph moves so much.
Right.
So I get minutes, but really it's usage. And it's the amount of times that he's moving to get open and moving throughout the offense. I understand he's point guard, but he's not the one initiating the offense a lot. He's the one that's on the receiving end of a lot of action and things like that. So that takes up, I really honestly wonder how many miles, the tracker, how much he moves, because he is one of those players that I would hate to guard offensively.
You're missing offense from Klay, but you're getting that from Jordan Poole. You're missing defense from Klay, but you're getting that from Gary Payton II. They just have a lot of guys that can play two-way. They share the basketball. I mean, Kevon Looney fits in. Belicia fits in. Everybody just fits in because of the way they play and move. It is beautiful to watch. And watch Jordan Poole. Look how he's gotten taller than me, Candace, and he's able to be able to create his own shot. His jump shot's gotten better. His catch and shoot. Woo, that follow through. I mean, 25 points. Jared, I think you said he had 15 in that first quarter. He can carry them for minutes, and then you have Steph. Then you have other guys like Wiggins who's coming along. Everybody's consistent.
Well, it's nice for you to be able to say a name and then you say, and then you have Steph. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a luxury that they didn't have the last couple of years, especially with Klay being out.
You've got questions? I've got some answers for you.
All right, what's up?
Steph Curry runs an average of 2.57 miles per game.
Wow, that's only like 23 miles short of the marathon.
I know.
He's got some work to do.
I want to know that's compared to how much I used to run in a game.
Or how much I run in the game.
Woo. The leader right now this season is Fred VanVleet, who runs just under 3 miles a game.
So is Steph in top? Steph's got to be in the top 10, right?
Yeah. He's in the top 20.
Okay, but here's the thing. If he'd play the fourth quarter,
he's not playing.
Then he would be probably.
Grant Hill and 3D Dennis Scott courtside to call the Lakers and Candace's favorite league pass team, the Charlotte Hornets. Coverage starts Monday night at 7:30 Eastern. That's 4:30 Pacific for those of you out on the West Coast. Candace Parker will be part of the broadcast in studio. Steve Smith and I will be watching from home with a beverage in hand. Let's talk about this Laker team who's looking for a bounce back. As of the latest injury report, the Lakers are listing Anthony Davis as questionable. We know LeBron James will be out for tomorrow night. Russell Westbrook coming off the 1 for 13, 6 turnover night. What changes tomorrow night?
I would like to see them utilize Russell Westbrook in a different way. I don't think that they're going to use him in this way when all their pieces get back. He is dangerous when he is playing in transition, and he is dangerous in the half court when he is close to the basket. You know, not taking pull-up jump shots. And I realize with players out, he has to take some of these shots. But I think getting him in the mid-post, using his size, his physicality, and his ability to finish really will open up some outside looks where you're going to get guys that are able to get some catch and shoots, which I think is important. So I look for Russ to continue to be aggressive. We all know Russell is not going to back down from anything.
Sure.
But I think that just in terms of the schemes and what they want him and need him to do, he needs to be closer to the basket.
Watching them early, Jared, they didn't have much of a training camp, obviously shortened season. They have so many number one option guys, former number one options, Melo, LeBron, AD, Russ. When the ball is passed, they stand. They don't know how to move without the basketball. They're going to have to get some more motion, some more cutting. They're not a team, they don't set great picks right now. And I think for them is they're going to have to give them themselves. Obviously, the losses and wins go up and down, but they got to find a rhythm, a style of play. Are they going to be a half-court offensive team? Are they going to be a team that comes up and shoots threes? They don't have an identity right now. And on the defensive end, I thought they'll be better. They will get there defensively for sure when they're healthy.
On behalf of all of us who have not played the game, this is a genuinely curious question that I think a lot of us has. Russell Westbrook is 13 years into the league. We've seen this year and year out. And he can win a lot of games in the regular season playing this way. It tends to be a problem in the postseason. And we know why he was brought to the Lakers, to win a championship, to contend for a championship. Who, with what you both have said, constructive criticism, who is it on to get that message through to Russell Westbrook? And 13 years in the league, do you expect change?
To be honest with you, I do put, a lot of the onus on the coaches that he's played for, because honestly, you got to put him in a better position, especially with those pieces around him. Yes, you are going to win some games in the regular season, percentage-wise, by him coming down and taking pull-ups. We understand how Russ plays. Let's utilize him closer to the basket. Let's take advantage of mismatches. I would love to see him even off of, instead of doing a pick and roll out at the top where they're going all the way under the screen, let's put him in the mid-post and have AD come and set a pick right there for Russ and let him turn the corner. I think that you can play with the way in which you use him, and it'll be beneficial when LeBron comes back, when AD's back healthy, and it allow guys to play off of him.
And go deeper into that, because you mentioned this earlier, for those of you who weren't watching. The Lakers have to, out of necessity, play a different way when LeBron's in and when he's not in. Mm-hmm. And we don't know how long he's going to be out for. The Lakers are being holding us very close to the vest. We have no idea when LeBron comes back. But mentally, don't you have to prepare for when LeBron does come back? He's going to have the ball in his hands. You cannot play a totally different way now, because the regular season, listen, your team, you went 500, but those valuable lessons you learned in all of those losses in the regular season had to have meant something when you came down the stretch in the regular season, in the playoffs.
And I think it is a mentality in which you play in. I think it is everybody taking and passing up. I think right now the Lakers are taking a lot of, if you can even call them good shots. Mm-hmm. They're not taking great shots.
Nope.
So you're seeing the teams that are successful early on in this season are passing up good shots and getting great shots. And I don't know if the Lakers have that. I think they are trying to do it themselves. And with this team, you have one guy, LeBron, that can probably do it himself, and everybody else kind of has to play off of everyone else.
Jerry, I look at this. It's coaches, they're going to definitely put them in different positions. You can have Russell Westbrook in a pick and roll as this screener.
Thank you.
Let him screen. Let him roll and attack.
There have been years in the NBA where analytical data has proven Russell Westbrook has set like an egregiously low number of screens in a season.
Yeah, but they haven't put him in situations. The hardest thing for a point guard defensively is to play pick and roll when their guy is a screener. Me and Mookie played 2-1 pick and roll with myself, and most point guards never hedged, never showed, never knew what to do. And if they do decide to switch with LeBron has a smaller guy. Mm-hmm. And if you have Russell Westbrook setting the screen, catching on the roll, going down, everything for him is downhill. Play to his strength, put him on the block, let him be in screen and roll, play him on the offside. Let him be more of a small forward on offense versus a point guard.
But I think the adjustment too, that we saw Giannis make last year,
Mm-hmm.
where you can't yell at Giannis for taking any shot, right? But you don't want him taking consistent pull-up threes
Early in the shot clock.
early in the shot clock. So you saw that adjustment that he made in that Brooklyn Nets series where he came out, they lost game 2, and he came out in game 3 and took more efficient shots. Well, I think you need Russ doing that as well, evaluating the game. If you hit him, continue to take him. But if not, you do have to get him downhill into that pocket pass area. With him attacking, there's no better person going downhill that can pass as well as finish.
By the way, she talked about game 3 of that Nets-Bucks series. You want to know why? Because they put her courtside, they put her on the big jumbotron.
Well, you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, look at that.
I mean, I saw it up close.
That was unbelievable sitting
Great
courtside of that
analysis.
game, huh?
They
I
put
was
you there.
working.
You
Oh, you were working.
I was working.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was working.
Update from Staples Center. Charlotte, who's going to play the Lakers tomorrow night. They got